So is Kamala doing okay?
Nope. She's down, Joe. I think they found out that she's retarded. And now we're basically fucked. Trump is killing us at the polls. So yes, we're going to lose Joe.
Damn it. Wait. What if I come back to run again?
As candidate?
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way, Joe. The only person in this world who is even more retarded than Kamala Harris is basically you. So no, Joe,
on, man.
you're
Just
not going
give me
back
another
in.
shot.
Let's let it all play out. Okay, we'll talk later, Joe.
Okay.
Women looking fine up in here.
So is
Bill Clinton would be doing.
Yeah. Women looking fine up in here. Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. That right there, that is culture. That is why the Democrats and the left want to control and censor the internet right there. Because that is funny. That is as funny as an SNL skit. Again, we were talking about SNL the last couple of days, how, in the mid-90s to 2000s era is when they started taking sides politically. They started ridiculing Bush, and then when Obama got elected, they would not make fun of Obama, or at least it was respectful comedy to Obama, as where like whenever Will Ferrell was doing his Bush impression, it was him being as dumb as possible to make Bush seem as dumb as possible.
Yes.
Obama was treated so well.
Mm-hmm.
There
was nothing that was derogatory towards Obama. It was all just like, ha ha ha, he's funny, or he's a nice president.
Isn't it funny that the downfall of SNL is when they started treating Democrats with kid gloves? They could go hard on Republican candidates, but they could treat Democrats with kid gloves. Like, oh, you can't make fun of them. There are people. There are candidates. So that right there is why they want to censor the internet, because all throughout the 80s and 90s, like, the Democrats had complete and total control over all the cultural institutions. College for sure. Media for certain, and media including, Hollywood entertainment, SNL. And now the internet is it's the Wild West. We all are able to find sources. We're all able to find information. We're able to see who's in charge, who's running the show. So that right there is why the internet's so important, and why the countercultural movement that Trump is so successful, because they're not afraid to be funny. They're not afraid to ridicule the other side. Like SNL used to ridicule all the political candidates. They don't do that anymore. So, welcome to the show, I guess. Welcome to the free market with the internet. Again, it'll be a sad day when they actually do get to the point where they can censor the internet and tell people, yep, that's a cheap fake. That Barack Obama video you just watched was a cheap fake. You can't have that. Obviously, it's fake. Obviously, it's not real. Obviously, it's parody. But they'll say, nope, there'll be too many people that'll take it as real. You can't have that. You're the right. You can't be funny. You can't have fun. So anyway, now they're just upset because we're having fun and we're trolling, and can't have that, because the only people that can be ridiculed are people on the right. Yeah. The only people who are allowed to be able to make fun of you are Jon Stewart. The only people who are allowed to make fun of you are John Oliver. All these political guys who are on the left and like Democrats and are buddy with Democrats, they go, they're the only ones that can make fun of them. They go, Republicans aren't funny. You're not funny. You're just cruel and mean whenever you do it.
I mean, that's what we just watched is no different than those NFL bad lip readings or whatever it was, which are hilarious. And that's what it is. They don't like it when they're being mocked. When the king is trying to censor the jester, something's wrong. And that's what it is. I mean, we're talking like, at least this is parody and, like satire or whatever you want to call it. Like, I mean, if we're going to ban that, I mean, you all remember when Kathy Griffin held the severed head of Trump. I mean, what type of political statement was that other than just asking for political violence?
Again, it doesn't matter. They just don't like it when the right has fun. When we have fun, like, hey, degeneracy, moral decay, that's fun. Whenever the right starts poking fun at their political messiah, that's not okay. Again, that's why SNL never made fun of Barack Obama, because he is their Jesus. He is their messiah figure, because they are a godless party. So, and again, still listen to about the way that they talk. And now he's lost all power and credibility now, but like I said, listen to the way that they talk about him and his candidacy. It's like it's this mythical thing. It's like it was like this magical time where everything was perfect whenever Barack Obama was president. I don't remember it being that way, especially not for my parents being small business owners. It was not that way. So, I don't know. We'll push on to today's subject. So today's subject, if you can't see, is the FBI lied, crime is up. So we all know in the debate that the famous Trump-Kamala Harris debate, they fact-checked Trump 7 times, and they never fact-checked Kamala once. Well, one of the times they fact-checked, and they said the FBI has reported that all the crime statistics are down. Well, there's a watchdog organization. It's called the Marshall Group, right? Or
Marshall Project is what it's
the
called.
Marshall Project. So, as it turns out, the FBI later, I guess probably the other day, stealth edited. So, they went in when nobody's watching and they changed all the statistics to match what they actually are. And guess what? Crime is up, way up. And guess what? Most of it's not even reported either. So what ended up happening is all these bureaus and all these police agencies, like what? There was like 6,000 that didn't report anything because they didn't get their technology up to date enough. They didn't do the transfer over process in time in order to get their crime statistics report. They go, we're not using this system anymore. You have to use this system. You have to use these computers. It's a lot like being here. So the way I'll describe it is, so here at our office here. So the company that we work for gives us 10-year-old computers. When we got them 6 or 7 years ago now, they were out of date by 10 years. But they go, these are the computers that can run the company's hardware, which is super advanced. It's like, well, if these computers are 10 years old and your hardware is super advanced, it can't be that all advanced because it's operating on these old computer systems. Mm-hmm. And again, every time we have the tech guys come in here, they go, wow, your computers are so old they can barely process anything that you're attempting to do here. You have too many apps up. You're overloading your computer's processing power. It's like, yeah, we know. That's why our computers move slow as crap. That's why whenever we try to pull stuff up for customers, it takes 5-10 minutes to do it. Because the software and the programs that they have are just too new for these old computers that the company approves of. It's the same way with the government. So you have to have all these computers that are within government regulation, and then you have to get all your companies turned over. It's and again, you have small local police officers, and even huge ones can't do it either. Again, the vast majority of crime statistics that weren't reported were from major Democrat big cities. So whenever Kamala Harris was saying, and they were fact-checking, all the FBI shows that all the crime is down. It's yeah, because nobody recorded. Over 6,000 police agencies didn't record any numbers because they didn't get their systems up to date.
Yep. And that's what this group has pretty much discovered, is that half up to nearly one-third of law enforcement agencies are missing from the FBI's 2022 crime statistics. So, when Trump said the FBI is keeping out cities, yes, New York, LA, and Chicago were purposely and willfully kept out of the crime statistics.
Because they didn't get their systems up to date.
Mm-hmm. And the police weren't reporting. And they said that the FBI most certainly did this as a political stunt to make the Harris campaign look better in the debate. There's absolutely no doubt about it, because they stealth edited this. There was not an announcement of, hey, the new numbers are in. It was just let's just get in here and post this while no one's looking.
Again, it's one of those grotesque things where it's well, we don't have all the available data, but we'll give you what we have. And what we have is inaccurate. But that's okay because it's what we have. And again, that's what we're going off. It's well, here's the truth. And then Trump has the whole truth, but they're only going to show you the truth that the FBI is willing to post. And they're able to go off those numbers. This is where Trump's getting his stuff from these watchdog organizations like the Marshall Project.
Mm-hmm. As you can see here, New York Police Department did not report in 2021 and did not report in 2022. Los Angeles did not report in 2021 and 2022. Chicago reported 7 months in 2021, and then they fully reported in 2022. So I guess they did fully report then, but so many did not. Arizona didn't report. So many non-reports in here. It's ridiculous that they were hey, these are accurate numbers. You're good.
We're good. Yeah. Again, it's disgusting, it's pervasive, and it's what the Democrats want. They only want you armed with a little bit of knowledge. Again, they're magicians. It's look over here while something dirty's going on way over here. Mm-hmm. The real trick and deception's going on over here. They're making you wave this hand, watching you clap and make loud noises and say, here we are over here, look at this. Don't look at that over there. Again, the Leslie Nelson meme, from The Naked Gun. Move along, there's nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
As fireworks are shooting off and all sorts
The
of
buildings
stuff going on.
exploding in the background. Yeah, so, and this is why, I guess if you're going to give these people the benefit of the doubt, they were going off the information they had available, but we know that they know that information is not accurate, or if they're a journalist worth their salt, they know that information is not good.
Yep.
So it's just disgusting. It's so sad, the state that the media is in right now. And they will lie to you. They don't care about you. They don't care about the average citizen. They're just trying to get their candidate elected so they can stay in power. They don't want to see Donald Trump come in and crap on the table again and try to drain the swamp. Again, he had his own people weaponized against him. Like, there were people actively working against him. General Milley was actively working against Trump. Or one of his generals were.
Yeah, they were. There were people in his cabinet that were actively working against him. So that's why everyone's like kind of excited right now, especially on the right side of things, because they're like, he's going to get in there and fire everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. I mean, that's really what it needs, because where we already talked about where inflation comes from. Inflation only comes from government spending. That's the only place it comes from. It's not made by businesses. It's not made by corporations. It's not made by the consumer, and it's not made by foreign interests.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation is solely made by your government spending, which means we're spending too much. That's the only reason inflation is up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, literally, get him in there, have him fire everybody. Do the Elon Musk treatment
Throw the kitchen
to
sink at it.
X, what he did to Twitter, and get rid of half the staff, because half those people don't need to be there.
They're just unelected bureaucrats doing jobs that were created in order to justify giant salaries.
Yep. But that kind of brings us to the next point that we're kind of moving towards is they've been telling us that these crime stats, that, crime's down, Well, here is the manager of that apartment complex in Colorado. This is him after he was severely beaten by those Venezuelan gangs in the apartment complex for saying, you're going to give us 50% of your income. He's like, no. And they started beating him to a pulp, as you can see in these pictures here.
Yep. Remember, all cultures are equal, everyone.
Mm-hmm. This is the manager of the apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. Venezuelan gangs who took over the building beat him up when he refused their bribe. The gangs told the owner that they needed to share the rent income 50-50 or lose the building. Yeah, nothing says America like being, coerced by a foreign gang.
Yeah, being shaken down by a gang from a foreign country. Whenever that foreign country's, again, they're reporting their crime. Everyone's like, their crime is down globally. You know why crime is down globally? Because Trump was right. They emptied their prisons. They sent their prison population. They said, nope, you just can't stay here, but you can go to America, and we'll help you get there. Download this app.
Yep. And then there's this one here that you sent me, which is another Libs of TikTok thing, and it says here 2,000 Haitians were dropped off in, I don't know how to say this, looks like Cherola, Pennsylvania, a town of 4,000 people. A Haitian guy attacked a girl on her way to school. Residents report a rise in crime and car accidents. Schools and services are overwhelmed. And here is this lady being interviewed by this guy who's an independent journalist. It's not like this is not the standard news media. These are independent journalists going out there and having to do this. And that's what makes this so sad, is like, this was the media's job. Now the media makes a phone call, go, hey, are these things happening in your town? And they're talking to a city official who has a vested interest in saying, no, I don't want my town to look bad. So
Not
he says,
under my tenure.
It's not happening. It's not happening, or, it's being overblown from what it is. And then independent journalists like this guy go in and actually talk to people. So I'll play this for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
There's been some assaults with some kids on the bus.
Okay.
One student attacked another American child on the bus.
Yeah, it was like a Haitian kid attacked a younger
and I
American
guess
kid,
he
right?
was like 20.
So it was a 20-year-old Haitian kid on the bus attacked a 14 or 15-year-old girl.
He told the girl to move, and she said no, and he grabbed her, and really grabbed her.
Yeah.
And wouldn't let her go. They just get on the bus and go to school. you know, with like the elementary kids just to get her ride to school.
Like high school kids?
Yeah, and the school doesn't do anything about it.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, is
The
there
school
any
does nothing
disciplinary-
about it.
Just
People
because they're-
complain all the time about things and they do nothing.
Remember, all cultures are
There's-
equal, folks. So that right there, first of all, did you hear her hesitancy to? I mean, he had to say it, not her. Like she goes, "Yeah, a Haitian got in a fight with a kid on a bus." And they go, "Yeah, a 20-year-old Haitian guy got in a fight with a girl on a bus." A 20-year-old Haitian. What is a 20-year-old Haitian going to a public school for? What's happening here? Why is a 20-year-old man getting on a public school bus and going to school? Obviously, he might be trying to go and get an education and get a grip on the English language, but why should our tax dollars go to put this Haitian guy in the public school system where he's fighting other students? Does that not scare you? Does that not shock you? It shocks me.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't want some unwell-adjusted person on a school bus with, like, hey, my kid's sister just got out of high school. Like, I can tell you I'd be throwing a fit if I found out some dude put hands on her. But no, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. So what's going on here? Again, that girl's too afraid to say it what it is. The guy had to say, yeah, no, it's a problem. And then go, yeah, and the schools won't do anything about it. It's because the schools are probably getting some government kickbacks for hosting the migrants. So I don't know. I mean, I don't, there's no simple solution here, but the solution is these people clearly don't share our values and they don't share our culture here. And they go, well, they'll adjust over time. It's like, yeah, they'll adjust, but you know who's going to suffer? The people in that community are going to suffer. Those little girls on that bus are going to suffer. It's just like the thing in California where all those Hispanic immigrants or whatever were trying to get on a public school bus full of little kids. It's like the bus driver's like, no, this is not that kind of bus. Buddy, this is a bus for kids only. It's like, could you imagine a bunch of illegal immigrants just hopping on a bus with your 5-year-old kid, your 6-year-old kid going to school?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who these people are. Like, are you going to assume that they're? And again, you're gonna like accuse me of probably being racist, being, well, you're just assuming the worst. You're just assuming that they're all what Trump said they are. They're all criminals and rapists. It's like going, maybe, but you don't know that. It's the same reason you go and meet with your kids' teachers. It's the same reason you go and look at the school system you're putting your kids in. You are responsible for your kids, and if you're going to leave your kids somewhere, you better know the teachers, you better know the principal, and you better know most of the staff at that school because you're responsible for your own child. And if you leave them there with potential predators or LGBTQ groomers, trans groomers, and your kid comes home a very different child, that's your fault. We're leaving them in there.
But here we have, this is why I had the thumbnail chosen for today. You know, they act like this hasn't been happening. Like, but if you remember back in the day, like New York's violence was getting so bad on the subways that they deployed the National Guard down there. Well, here's a neighborhood that's being overrun by illegal immigrants and criminal gangs. It's an entire like block or neighborhood. And this guy is on the ground doing some investigative journalism, and like they're requesting like this whole town, and the guy that even like is a part of it is like requesting the mayor or the governor send in the National Guard to clean this stuff up. So if you want, we'll check this out for a couple of minutes.
There are growing concerns among residents and business owners here. They say they're losing their community. Former City Councilman Hiram Montserrat wants Governor Kathy Hochul to send in the National Guard.
This is organized crime.
So an entire New York City neighborhood has been taken over by gangs, and there's nothing the city's able to do about it. Because even after several police raids of this formerly vibrant middle-class neighborhood, the levels of criminal activity here continue to soar. And that's why residents are demanding the governor step in and send in the troops.
I actually got to speak to a couple of community members. They say that organized crime has taken over this community. They demand the community be cleaned up immediately because walking down the street isn't safe anymore.
You want to live in this country, you want to get the American dream, and what you're doing is completely wrong. You're breaking the law.
Now they're in broad daylight, they're in front of schools, we have garbage, we have illegal vendors.
We say no more, and we're going to shut you down.
That's the promise from officers raiding this Roosevelt Avenue massage parlor.
2 days after, they reopened. And we came here last night, they were here.
The mayor said the flood of migrants coming to the city with little support systems contribute to the situation.
And you know, police tell us that the migrant crisis has really made this problem so much worse. Not only is there increased gang activity, but also
this Trinidad Agua gang that originates in Venezuela has now made the United States their second home. This gang is now hidden in plain sight within the 1 million Venezuelans that have entered the country.
We're already in trouble because they've been here for a while and they're involved in so many different crimes. You name the crime, they're going to be involved in it.
Well, there you go, folks. Clearly nothing to see here. Nothing to see here, folks. But again, you, a citizen of the United States, you know you're going to get a ticket for setting up a vendor like that on the street. Do you have a license for selling that chicken? Do you have a license for selling those clothes? Again, the entire process of this is cruel. Like, these people were lied to by whatever NGOs are operating in their country saying, yeah, go to America, the land of the free, home of the brave, and land of opportunity. Well, they get here, and they don't know what to do when they get here. If they were not business owners or entrepreneurs in their own country, how the hell are they going to come here and just be like, I mean, when you set foot on American soil, are you just gifted the knowledge of how to be a business owner? Like, oh, I know how to do this. Like, they're doing what they know how to do to survive. They know how to cook food, and they know how to sell stuff. That's about it.
Yep.
And they don't have the license to do that. What are you gonna do? Like, these people are probably, a lot of them be like, hell, I'll gladly go to American jail. I'll get 3 free meals a day, and I'll be inside a warm building.
Yeah. 100%.
So again, whatever evil NGOs are operating in these countries, telling these people to come here, they're the bad guys. They are evil.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there are Americans here struggling. It's like going, how many people start businesses that fail? These people are just going to come over and be like, I can barely speak the language. I don't know anything about your government or your laws, but I'm going to come here and start a business and just start making money. No problem. I mean, I guess that's what they're doing with their little street vendor crap. But again, illegal. You can't do that. You're an American citizen. You can't do that. You don't have the right to do that. But they're not going to waste taxpayer dollars rounding these people up. So what is this? They're creating their own little black market economy in New York. That's money that could be going into our companies, into our local economy. But guess what? They've created their own little economy inside, their own little black market economy inside their country. That money that we've given them, our tax dollar dollars, their little tax credit cards or little debit cards that they get that have anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000 on, that's not money being spent in American hotels. That's not money being spent in American businesses. They're robbing these businesses, and then they're circulating this money through that little immigrant community there.
Yep.
You are
100% correct.
We are screwed. So it's just disgusting. It's gross. It's pervasive. And again, that this is a huge problem that the Democrats are just going, no, all cultures are equal. This is really easy. This is not a problem. We have the infrastructure for this. No, we don't. No, we don't. Shoot, give me one of them cars with $30,000 on it. I'd love to see some of my tax dollars back. Mm-hmm. I could probably invest it and put it to better use than they can. Yep. Anyway, what else you got for me?
Well, I've got a couple of things. I could pull up I know we're running a little short on time, but we've got could pull up the Kamala Harris interviews. You just sent me this thing, and I don't know if you want to end it like
Oh, yeah.
But then there's this right here, which I think this is probably what we need to show. Right,
yeah, go ahead.
Here.
Yeah,
I'll pull this
play
up.
that. The call to action from the guys. Look, we were infiltrated by communists a long time ago. Like the Frankfurt School was set up a very long time ago, it was funded by the Soviet government in order to, and a lot of people from Germany as well funded the Frankfurt School, trying to bring out communist or socialistic ideas into America. And they've been here operating for years. And this video just kind of shows the truth behind that. I don't know, just give this video a watch and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Playing it now.
Directive was issued from party headquarters to all communists in the United States. It read, when certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind.
Fascist.
Fascist.
Fascist political party. Radicals on the far right. Anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic.
Xenophobic.
Transphobic.
Uncle Tom's white supremacist.
Domestic terrorist.
Neo-Nazi organizer.
Nazis.
You are an anti-vaxxer.
Anti-vaxxers.
Racist.
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 A racist.
The following directive was issued from
That literally has been the Democratic playbook against their political opponents since about
Bush.
60s. Is it? I'd say earlier than that, but I mean, they did it to Reagan. They did it.
Yeah.
I mean, they do it to anybody. I mean, how many times has Bill Maher called the Republican nominee for president Hitler?
Yeah.
Or Hitler adjacent.
They've been
I mean,
saying it-
all the way to the next one.
Since Bush was around, you know, I was a kid whenever Bush was growing up. I remember them saying that on the news.
Yeah. It's
Granted, it wasn't
literally.
as intense or as numerous as they say it about Trump now. But you know, it's like, again, these words lose power, they lose steam. Like, I think that's one thing the communists didn't take account for. It's like going, once you say it so much, then you have enough people that don't believe it, realize it's a load of crap, and all of a sudden it's like, but again, they're not betting on the well-informed, they're betting on the uninformed. They go, if you say it to kids who are coming up out of high school into college, like they're betting on those kids. That's why they're saying these words, because those kids know the crappy history that they're taught in the public school education. They just go, oh, yeah, Nazis are bad guys. And you call somebody like Donald Trump a Nazi every single day. It's going to be like, well, I heard that guy was a Nazi. It's like, well, it's got to be true then. This is all brainwashing the next generation. It's poisoning the well is what they're doing. So we can't have reasonable or rational discourse. This is why kids that go, if you watch anything like through Charlie Kirk or through Turning Point USA, that's why kids can't debate him, because all they're challenging him with is their worldview that's been unchallenged by their liberal professors. And then they have somebody like Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro come in and give a talk on their campus, and their entire worldview is changed. And again, it physically hurts people when their world, like, let's say, it's like the way I describe it is, imagine if I was able to prove to you there is no God. Not saying there is. I'm not saying there isn't a God. What I'm saying is, imagine if someone was able to prove it to you. Like with hard facts, you would physically hurt from that. Like your brain would hurt. You would not endorphins, but you know, like your pain receptors would be like, what's happening? Your entire worldview would shatter. That's what's happening to these kids that are challenged by people like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk on college campuses. Like their worldview has been shaped by in a liberal bubble by liberal elitist college professors who are all pseudo communists. And then whenever they come in there challenged by someone on the right, it's like, they hurt, they physically recoil, they cry. It's because their worldview is being shattered and they don't know how to react to it. They don't know how to react to it. They can't process it.
Yep. But yeah, this next meme here is relevant to that then. It's a scene from Batman, The Dark Knight Rises. Mm-hmm. And it's the guy, the FBI agent that's in the plane with them, or CIA, whatever he was, and he's wearing a pink communist vagina hat that was so popular in the Women's March or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it says, faith is so powerful, that's why Christian nationalism is so dangerous. And he says here, Christian nationalism is dangerous, and that's what the FBI guy wearing the hat says. And then Bane's like, for you. It's good. I like it.
That is a good meme.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of good memes, so I was talking to Chad like while we were playing that video a little while ago, and I was talking about how you know what the Haitian driving problem reminds me of? It reminds me of that episode of South Park where they were afraid of old people driving. So I think they should go back and redo that episode, but redo it with Haitian drivers. So we'll go ahead and check this out really quick, because they turned. It's South Park. You know it's going to be hilarious. Just check this out.
Just say the meme that we're going to make from this is when you see a Haitian driving a car.
Yes.
It's okay, boys. They're gone.
Is there no volume?
Let's just lay low for a minute until we can find them. I don't remember there being a building here. Run!
I told you to turn left, Larry.
Get up the stairs! Up the stairs! Come on!
Ah, there's another one!
Ah! Excuse me, is this Costello Avenue?
Oh, man, that's good.
So good. South Park has always just hit it on the head. But yeah, no, I mean, replace the old people with Haitian drivers, and that's what you got now. That's the problem. So it's just ridiculous. It's just crazy. And again, you're 18, so congratulations, you're a certified driver in the United States now. Doesn't matter if you don't understand English, you don't know what the road signs mean. And again, road signs and traffic laws are they're like the Pirates Code in Pirates of the Caribbean. They're more like guidelines. They're not strictly enforced laws. Like, go to Mexico. Like, I was shocked at how traffic worked in Mexico.
Yeah, that's really all there is. I mean, we're running out of time. There's nothing else I can play us out with this video right here, and we can call it a day if you want to.
Absolutely. So that's about all I've got for you today. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. That's all we've got for you. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.